I was a mean girl in high school. Let's talk about it. Not the finger.
I was a mean girl in high school. Let's talk about it. There was a comment someone made, and it basically said something to the effect of, I'm so glad to see that I'm still the same mean girl that she was in high school. This comment is so silly goose.
Sorry, yeah, but like, yeah, I got a comment that I used to bully someone. Like, I don't even remember it, but let's talk about it. So yeah, I don't remember who I could have possibly bullied because I only ever bullied people who deserved to get bullied. Besides that, I have zero recollection, like zero.
People literally mean zero to me now. And all of the things that happened in high school literally mean this to me now. If you're still like reminiscing about high school and you're still hurt by something I said or did to you, I'm sorry. I probably don't remember it anyway. And you should probably get outside more.
And I can't keep going. Tell me you guys saw the original because, oh my gosh, I have to talk about it with someone. I am so, and Sarah's in China, so I can't talk about it with her, so I'm gonna talk about it with y'all. If you haven't seen the original, it's quite literally starts like that. Like, I was a mean girl in high school. Let's talk about it. Like, it's a flex. I think the thing that really blew my mind, like the main header in that whole, I don't even know what I watched that really blew my mind is her justification for bullying. She was like, I really think bullying is a form of evolution.
I think bullying is something that has to happen when you're young. Something from like an evolutionary or like biological standpoint. And I've always thought this way, and I will probably continue to think this way.
Who told you that, girl? Who? Oh my Lantis. But for real though, I really want to talk about this as someone who has a platform because this genuinely disgusts me to my very core. Trigger warning real quick, I will be talking about my personal experience with bullying and so obviously people who were the bullies are not going to remember who you bullied because like it's like the saying the axe forgets the tree doesn't. Literally that you cause wounds to other people and then you completely forget about it, and it's these people, us who were bullied, who has to carry it for the rest of our life. Fixing the problem that you caused and someone like her who doesn't even take accountability for it is wild to me. On a lighter note, also I've noticed a lot of people who got bullied, like us, we're funny, bro, and we're also really nice because me personally, I would never want to make someone feel the way that I felt when I was bullied, so I'm super like cognizant about what I say to people versus people like her. Took the L in childhood but a W in adulthood, kind of. Most of us are people pleasers. I was bullied relentlessly every single day for, I would say, about 4 or 5 months until I had to get pulled out and was homeschooled, which a lot of people don't know that I was homeschooled. I was told every single day that I was incredibly dark, dirty, my family was poor, my dad was a taxi driver. By the way, that's not true. Not that it matters, but these are just all stereotypes. I was convinced so much that because I was so dark that I was not pretty, that I would not go outside. And if I went outside, I would wear a visor like this, long sleeves like this, and fully cloaked pants in 120-degree weather. It wasn't until about last year, so it's almost been 6-7 years, that I was okay with going out and getting dark. Every single time I went outside in the sun, I would have panic attacks because I was like, I'm gonna get dark, I'm gonna get dark. It's crazy to me that she was like, it was 4 years ago. It took me 7 or 8 years to get over my fear of the sun. So like 4 years ago is really nothing. But it's also too late. I did irreversible damage to my skin because I didn't want to be dark. I was really convinced that being dark was ugly, which is obviously not true at all, but it took me forever to get over it. So I don't have many pictures of what I used to look like, but this was one of the peak times that I would not go out in the sun, even though this is summertime and I'm on my senior trip. Damn, seeing this is bringing back emotions that I forgot about, and I am low-key getting emotional, but I'm not gonna let it come out because I don't want to. To end this video before I go ranting is, no, you are not chronically online if you feel that you are being bullied and you are getting emotionally hurt. No, you're not being soft. 2, 4 years ago is not long at all for people who are bullied. 3, if you're a bully, you suck, and I hope you step on all the Legos possible and stub your pinky toe. Also, on a side note, if you guys want to know how my brother beat the stuffing out of my bully and kind of got me suspended, but like my bully never bothered me again, I'll tell y'all the story time.
And if you're still focused on me in high school, then you clearly have no purpose in my life, because you would definitely have a different opinion if you like actually knew me. If you're still someone who's like focused on high school and it's been almost 5 years, y'all must be chronically online and need to like get a life. Go travel, go meet people, go talk to people, go make money, y'all. Bullying in America, or like the mean girls of America, bruh, it's really not that bad. Y'all ever seen K-dramas? Y'all know what happens in other countries, what bullies are like. American teenagers have gotten so soft these days because of social media. Literally anything offends people and makes people be like, oh, I'm being bullied. I feel like if you are being bullied, it's gonna help you grow up and be a stronger person, a heavier foot in life because of your experience. Unless you dwell on it for 4 years after high school. then that's just kind of sad. And then if you are someone that's bullying people, you never know what's going on in someone's life. Don't take it too personally. If someone's bullying you, they probably have something going on. Honestly, those people probably have some things that they need to work on themselves. Maybe that's all they know. But it's gonna teach them too how to treat people. A lot of people that are bullies do end up having like higher social growth in life. I mean, I'm not saying like go out and be mean to people. It's just something that naturally happens and that kind of has to happen. It's giving like evolution theories. It's giving biological things. But if you're still dwelling on that from 5 years ago, high school doesn't matter at all. If you're 22, you really need to like get a grip and focus on like your priorities in life rather than like dwelling on the past, which is crazy to me.
Hola y'all, this is future me editing. I wanted to explain the next clip because I realized it was kind of abrupt, but the clip before was my original reaction, and then on another platform I received some comments pretty much telling me like, how dare I succumb to the bullying and be offended of my skin color when I'm not even that dark. First off, right off the bat, I don't even know how to respond to that. Like, that's such a weird victim blaming mentality that I don't even know. Second off, it was not my intention to offend another community. This was just my personal experience, which I will talk more about in the next clip, but that's just the relevance to the next clip. And then the clip after that, I will be talking about how my brother, the bully. So enjoy. All right, this comment is like weirdly gaslighty, and I don't even know how I feel about it. I understand the topic that I was speaking about in my last video is extremely triggering, which is why I gave a trigger warning before I talked about it. In the video, I spoke about how for 6 months relentlessly, I was told that I was too dark. I was not the skin color, by the way. I was darker because I used to play a lot of sports. I was too dark, I was too ugly, I was too poor for 6 months every single day while physically and emotionally being abused. This is why I was like, oh, this is a hard topic, but I did this to myself by even talking about it. So, I mean, it brings awareness. Colorism affects the Asian community very, very strongly as well. I cannot relate to the Black community because I am not Black, but what I am is Asian. When we were told not to get dark, they were not comparing us to Black people. They were comparing us to prettier brown people because the brown people were prettier because they were pale. Even to this day, like in Asian culture, it is still preached that we should be pale. Like, we're not told to get tan. Like, literally look at Korea, Japan, and China. The East Asian countries, all their main celebrities are like paper white. Okay, I had to calm myself back down, but this comment is talking about at the end saying, there are so many beautiful, pretty dark celebrities. Don't you have TV? What I experienced was when I was 14. So social media was not a big thing back then, which sounds so bad to say, making it sound like I'm old, but I'm turning 25 this year, so I'm a little old. So to answer your question, me personally, no. Everyone I saw, which was because I am brown, I watched Bollywood, all the main actors were super, super pale. Ask any South Asian, Central Asian, Middle Eastern person who watches Bollywood, we will all tell you that there's specific requirements to be a Bollywood actor. You have to be a specific skin color to be the main lead. All the lesser leads were all darker people. Coupled with this is the advertisement I grew up seeing, like literally daily. This, a literal lightning cream with a brown girl in the back and a fair and lovely girl in the front. Paleness was equated to beauty because they believed that people who were darker were people out working in the fields or working out, so they got darker, and people who were paler were seen as more rich because they didn't have to go out and do manual labor. That is why the original beauty standard was set. Now, to put in colonization, that did not help at all, so now it is just, anti-colorism. As a 24-year-old, I know that is not true, but to a 14-year-old who's being told every single day that they're too dark, the media that they watch is telling them that they're too dark, to the point that they're physically being abused at school because they're being told that they're too dark, I can only speak on my personal experience. I'm so happy and so proud to see that that's not the case anymore, that a lot more people are vocal and a lot more people show that they're proud of their color. You don't need to be lighter to be prettier. I will reiterate it now. Being any color is beautiful. It doesn't matter if you're paler or darker or anything. All colors are beautiful. Your color does not define you as a person. It definitely does not define your beauty. I don't want to speak on anyone's behalf or on anyone else's voices, but this is what me as a South Asian went through, and that's the experience I'm talking about. My brother beat the stuffing out of my bully. Let's talk about it. Not but for real though, it really did happen and I ended up getting suspended, but that's okay because I ended up dropping out of that school. So I lived overseas in Dubai, so this happened when I was roughly in 8th grade, I believe, and I had transferred to a new school. And in the entire 8th grade, there was 9 students, including myself, and only 2 females, including myself. I used to play a lot of sports when I was younger, so I was constantly outside, so I was very tan, and I was also very skinny, and I was also very tall. I am 5'10". In 8th grade, I was roughly like 5'6", 5'7". Oh boy, did that make me a target for the bullying. I was told probably every single day that I was ugly, that I was too skinny, that I was too dark, that my family was poor, that I didn't deserve to be in the country. Like, literally crazy stuff. Any possible opportunity to mock me, I was mocked. On the way home to school, I was mocked. One time the bully grabbed my head and slammed it into the window. Yeah, I'm laughing, but that's just trauma laughing. And the one other girl that was in the grade, every single guy had a crush on her. And I'm not saying that as like a form of jealousy. It's just what it was. I was the ugly one to them and she was the pretty one. Thank goodness she was not a bully. She was a girl's girl. She was on my side. But the problem was she spoke 0 English. She only spoke Russian. So we used to speak through Google Translate and I would tell her like, oh, like they're really mean to me. I don't understand why. And she would be like, yeah, I don't understand why. So when she would get literally love letters from guys, which is such a K-drama moment for her, you get it, queen, except these guys sucked. She literally would throw it away in front of their faces, which slay queen. And her and I would just continue to talk in Google Translate, and she would constantly try to get people to leave me alone, but she didn't speak any English, so, you know, it didn't work out too well, but, you know, at least she was a girl's girl. That's all that matters to me. So where the bus used to drop me off was a convenient place for the bus driver, but he actually was not supposed to drop me off there. The way it works in Dubai is you actually have to pay for the bus because it's a private school, so you have to pay for, you know, the bus to take you to your house, and it's quite expensive. So there's things called the workers in Dubai, and it's just people who work in construction, and he used to always drop me off in the construction site. The thing about these workers is they do not have good reputations. Picture this, a 13, 14-year-old girl and about 70 men. Like, literally not kidding, 70 men just staring at you. So I would run home, and there was a time where someone actually followed me home, but, you know, because my dad was outside waiting for me, they would, you know, stop following me because they saw, oh, look, another man. But God knows what happens if my dad wasn't home. So I had told the bus driver, like, hey, can you not drop me off over here? Like, it's not safe for me. Can you drop me off in front of my house? Which was kind of inconvenient, but it was for my safety. And the bus driver was like, no, I'm not doing that. And I was like, boy. So I told my mom, and my mom confronted the bus driver and pretty much yelled at him. So the bully had heard my mom yelling at the bus driver, so he actually tried to get off the bus to yell at my mom, or I don't even know what he was planning on doing, but someone had stopped him. So he didn't get off the bus, but he was waiting, but my mom saw it because she knew that he was bullying me. My brother was in 11th or 12th grade, really focused on SATs. He was the captain of the wrestling team, which plays into a big part of this. And he was just very social. My brother and I were complete opposites. He was the popular one, I was not. My mom had sat my brother down and was like, yo, it's not safe for your sister. Like, you need to wait for her and wait till she gets on the bus and, you know, make sure no one bothers her. My brother first was like against it. He was like, no, I have other things to do. And my mom was like, you will watch your baby sister and you will do so. And he was like, fine, I guess. So we were waiting for the bus, and I'm waiting where the bus driver was supposed to pick me up. And he went straight back to the construction site and was just sitting there waiting for me and honking, telling me to come over to the bus. I walk over with my brother, and immediately I'm like, yo, what the heck? So when he opens the door, my brother is like, yo, why are you picking her up over here? My mom had already told you that you're picking her up in front of the house. Where the bus driver even gets a word out his mouth, which he can also go choke, but besides the point, the bully gets out of the bus and he's like, why are you causing a problem? He also, you know, starts hurling racial slurs at me, and my brother steps in front of me and he's like, who do you actually think you're talking to right now? So the guy was like trying to act big and was like, oh, look at this tough guy, look at this tough guy. So my brother was like, no, if you actually want to act so tough, you can fight me, leave my sister alone. The lady who was on the bus that was supposed to supervise us, she was like this 4'8" Filipino lady. She was trying her hardest to pull him back into the bus. It was not working. This man was not moving. So he gets out the bus. He's literally taking his shirt off and he's just like, yeah, I'll fight you. And my brother's like, bet, I'll fight you. I'm watching this all go down, and I'm, again, 13, 14, so I run to go get my mom, but before I leave, I see the guy take a swing at my brother, because my brother had his hands in his pocket. The bad A moment when my brother just goes like this, I was like, yo, that's my brother. Again, he was the captain of the wrestling team, which sounds so fake, but I swear I have pictures to prove that my brother was the captain. Anywho, my brother dodges it because this kid was not a fighter. He was all talk. And my brother just does one swing and hits him straight in the jaw. I tell you, this kid just goes down. And the second he goes down, my brother's wrestling mode kicked in and he puts him in a choke. So now other people on the bus are trying to get my brother off him, but my brother got a death grip on him. He's like, this dude swung at me first. I'm allowed to do this. So everyone's trying to get him off. The kid ends up blacking out. My mom comes out, pretty much retrieves my brother and is like, okay, stop, you're gonna do something else. And my brother's like, okay, fine, I'll let go. So he lets go and he gets up and everyone leaves. And the whole time the bus driver's yelling at me, the aide is yelling at me, the kids are yelling at us saying that we're gonna be going to the police, blah, blah, blah. We never went to the police. They didn't care about this. So my mom takes me to school expecting to talk to the principal and be like, what on earth? My daughter is literally being severely bullied by a guy who's older than her. By the way, again, I was in 8th grade. I forgot to mention this. The bully was in year 14. 14! You know, we only go up to 12. He was just held back twice. The principal, who, by the way, was also from New York, saw us and went, you should be ashamed of yourself. Immediately, my mom was like, what on earth did you just say to me? Sorry, y'all, change the scenery, but we're going to continue on how my brother, the stuffing out of my bully. So originally when we went to the principal's office, we really thought the principal was going to be on my side because I had made multiple complaints saying how these people are severely bullying me, and she didn't do anything. When she called us in, me and my mom genuinely were thinking that she was going to be like, I'm so sorry this happened to you. I'm sorry this has been happening to you. Not this lady literally sitting us down and going, you know why I've called you in today. She proceeds to tell me and my mom that my brother is too violent, and on top of that he made a fool of himself in front of everyone. And me and my mom were looking at her like, the heck did you just say to us? My mom looks this lady dead in the eye and she's like, did you just call my son stupid? And then she was like, no, I'm not saying that your son is stupid. I just think there's more mature ways to handle it. And your son did make a fool of himself in front of everyone. And my mom was like, I will make a fool in front of you in front of everyone if you call my son stupid one more time. The lady's like, ma'am, we don't need to elevate here. We don't need to elevate our voices. And my mom's like, this is me calm. You do not want to see what I look like mad. First off, how dare you sit here and tell me that my son made a fool of himself when you don't know how to run a school? Wait, where did you get your education from? The lady's like, New York. And my mom's like, yeah, we're from New York. I could see why you're not in New York anymore because this wouldn't fly in America. Then the lady is like trying to say like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I have years of experience. You don't need to get so aggressive here. And my mom's getting tight. Every single time this lady is telling my mom we don't need to get aggressive, my mom's like, I'm gonna show you what aggressive is in about 2 seconds. My mom starts ripping her apart. She was like, no, this is actually the worst school I've ever seen. I've never heard about an 8th grade having less than 10 students until I came here. So clearly you're doing an awful job. And then the lady tries to talk and my mom's like, I've heard enough of what you had to say. Your 10 students, yeah, we're gonna make them 9 students. Take my kid out of your school. And she was like, ma'am, we don't need to have to go that far. We were just going to only suspend her for a few days. My mom was like, no, you don't need to suspend her. Give us back our money. Give us back the money for the tuition. I'm withdrawing my daughter. Instantly, the principal was like, ma'am, I understand you're frustrated. I'm like, ma, nah, you brought me up here. Don't bring me back down. So my mom literally told her, take her out of your system. I don't want my kid here anymore. And then we got up and then we left. Then I was homeschooled for the next 7 or 8 months, which is kind of really hard. So I'm like lacking 8th grade knowledge, if I'm being honest, because it's hard for your mom who doesn't speak English to teach you and your dad who's in the military to come home and teach you. So I had to teach myself, which, let's be honest, at 14, are you going to teach yourself? Which is funny because I was the one who suggested homeschooling to my mom, and my mom was like, I don't know if that's a good idea, but that school was so bad that my mom was like, all right, we're trying homeschooling. And I did it because I saw Cimarelli homeschooled and I was like, yo, they homeschool and they're having so much fun. Disclaimer, I did not have so much fun. It was nuts. I was so lonely. Oh my gosh. Anyone else got funny childhood trauma that's like not funny at all but low-key funny to you now? Because it's funny to me now, but it was mortifying when I was like 14.